Hi there, welcome back to the Flask Mastery series. In this session, we are going to implement an endpoint that retrieves all the companies from the database. So for this endpoint, we are going to make use of the function that returns all the users from the database. So I'm going to copy all this snippet and paste it here so that we can rename it. So the blueprint is going to be pointing to companies, and then the URL is going to be /. Then we are going to protect this endpoint as well. And then instead of get all users, this is going to be get all companies. And for us to fetch all the companies from the database, we must make a query against the company model. And instead of all users, this is going to be updated to all companies. And to cater for serialization, we are going to keep this list in place, but the difference is that we are going to change it to companies data. So instead of for user in all companies, I'm going to update all occurrences of this variable to company. The object that we are returning for the response is going to be the company info. So the company has an ID, but the first name has to be updated to the company's name. Then instead of the last name, we are going to return the description. Then I'm going to update all this. Then instead of the type, we are going to pass in the company origin. So since each company belongs to a user, I'm going to go ahead and create a new key for the user object, such that we also return the user details within the response. And having defined this, I'm going to copy one of the responses that I had already created and paste it here. So instead of user.firstname, we are going to access this from the company, since each company belongs to a user. So this is going to be updated to company.user. Then we access the user information. So for the first case, we have the first name, then we have the last name. Then we do not have a company.username, but can update this to username. Then the email address, then the contact, then the type of the user. Then you can also access the biography, and can also pass in the created at for the user. So this is going to be company.user.createdAt. And not forgetting that this attribute was defined as a silent attribute on the company class. So this is the attribute that we are trying to access. Then for the response, it's going to be updated to company's data. And then instead of it having all users, this is going to be all companies retrieved successfully. And this is going to be total companies. And then this will be updated to company's data. So I'm going to go ahead and test this endpoint by creating a new request. Then the request name is going to be get all companies. Then the endpoint is going to be companies /. So I'm going to make a request. Authorization headers. So when I make a new request, this is what we get. So we can pretty see that all the companies have been retrieved, and we are having 3 for the total. And this is true because in the database we are only having 3 records. And we are also returning the details of the user to which the company belongs. I hope you found this session insightful. Thanks for watching, and see you again in the next session.